Previously on X-Men.
This is one costume for every single Duelist character in Marvel Rivals. Obviously, I will be making videos for the Vanguard and Strategist classes and the costumes I think those characters can have, but if you want to make...
Well, that was a lot more popular than I was expecting. Hello and welcome to one skin for every Strategist character in Marvel Rivals. I'm Keenan Savage. If you want to see my picks for all the Duelist characters, you can go ahead and check out the last video I made. I'll put it in the description. I'll also put a link to the Vanguard video out once I've made that. But enough talk. If you've seen my last video, you know the whole spiel I went on about the uniqueness of characters' costumes and things like that, yada yada yada. Let's just go ahead and get into the Strategists with our very first character, Now, when I make these, I try not to go for the obvious answer. I try to dig a little bit deeper to come up with something a little bit more unique. However, that being said, my choice for Adam Warlock absolutely has to be Magus. Magus is an evil version of Adam Warlock from the future after spending years getting corrupted and warped by the Soul Gem. And he is a huge part of Adam Warlock lore. Now, this could just be the basic Adam Warlock skin in the game, but with like a different color palette or whatever. But I think if they were going to go that route with it, then that would have been his alternate skin that, you know, came in the base form of the game. I think the fact that they didn't go with that in the very base of the game means that they intend to do Magus as his own skin with a more unique look. And I would absolutely love that. I would love to see this. You know, I've mentioned it before. I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. So, you know, a skin like that with a lot of purple in it compared to the gold that you typically see on Adam Warlock, I think that'd be really cool. I think that'd be really fun. So, Cloak and Dagger's costumes haven't changed that much over the years. They have these really kind of simplistic costumes that match for kind of simplistic powers, and it sort of plays into each other, you know? The biggest difference that there's been over the years is just Dagger's costume has closed up with more fabric over the years, which, like, good, that looks more practical and more comfortable. As a result, the biggest, most drastic costume difference I can think of is the outfits they had in Cloak and Dagger Spider Island number 3 when they were influenced by Mr. Negative and ended up swapping their abilities. So Cloak, who's typically all dark and has these kind of black aesthetics, had this very bright and white outfit, while Dagger had, you know, the opposite. She went from, you know, brights and whites and had this all black suit. It's really great. It flips their traditional black and white color scheme. Do I really need to explain this one? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, you know?
Oh, look at that little guy. Look at his little feet. Look at his belly.
He's so cute. He's adorable. I want him dead. Oh, but he's so cute, though. And one of the cutest little outfits, you know what I mean? Is this little suit and tie look from the It's Jeff Marvel comic book on their digital comic book streaming service.
Oh, he's so cute with his little suit and tie. It's so adorable. He's such a professional businessman. Oh, my God.
So, Thor is actually one of my favorite Marvel characters, and one of my absolute favorite Thor runs is Jason Aaron's run on the character. If you can get your hands on some Jason Aaron Thor comic books, I absolutely recommend them. They are just fantastic. It's a great story. It's full of just, I won't even get into it, but it's a fantastic story. Absolutely read it. Go to your local comic book shop and check it out. But one of the highlights of that run is that we keep getting these little flashbacks throughout it to a young Thor back in the days of Vikings and things like that, right? And of course, wherever you get Thor, Loki is sure to follow. It's in these pages where we see a young Thor's kind of Viking adventures that we see this sort of Viking version of Loki. And oh my God, he looks so different. He looks awesome. Not to say that regular Loki doesn't look awesome, but like, look at that. He looks like he could actually kick your ass. So many of Loki's aesthetics, especially in the modern day, are so clean and neat and things like that, that to see this one with this kind of bony, skull-like mask and these kind of animal-like furs and this kind of, I don't know, like moss-like cape, it just, oh my god, he looks so cool. I think this is one of the most incredible, like, it's such a different Loki design, but it's still obviously Loki. It looks like it's rooted in Norse mythology, even though I know it probably isn't. I know nothing about actual Norse mythology. I'm just gonna guess Loki doesn't look like this there, though. But if you told me he did, yeah, I would believe you. I would buy it, because this just looks amazing. This is one of the most badass looks for Loki out there. I would absolutely love to see it in the game. But yeah, no, seriously though, go out and buy some Jason Aaron Thor comics. They are so good. One thing that many people, including myself, have praised Marvel Rivals for is their inclusion of more obscure, lesser-known characters. I think it's fantastic that a game this big isn't just picking the biggest, most popular names. I think it's great that they're picking more obscure characters and giving them the spotlight they wouldn't otherwise have. Well, me as a longtime Marvel Comics fan figured, well yeah, they'll pick some obscure ones every here and there, but I'll know who all of them are. I've been in this for a while now. And then they said Luna Snow would be in the game, and I had no idea who that character was. Turns out she originated in Marvel Future Fight in 2018. I think she was integrated into the comics around 2019, but it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that they made a character for this mobile game to represent the Korean audience, and she got put into the comic books. I think that's great, and I think it's even greater that she's in Marvel Rivals and, you know, is able to get more popular from there. So looking into her skins in Marvel Future Fight, because that's where most of her costumes have been, the one I wanted to go with from them was her Andromeda outfit, and you might be wondering why that. It looks kind of generic, it's kind of just like a generic superhero suit, but that's why I picked it out. Oddly enough, by it being a kind of generic superhero suit, it kind of stands out from her regular attire, which is usually kind of streetwear, you know, kind of pop star, celebrity clothing. Giving her a more standard superhero outfit actually kind of stands out from her wardrobe in this way. So yeah, I'm going with her Andromeda outfit. I think that'll be really unique amongst her lineup of, you know, other skins that she'll have in the game. And shout out to you, Luna Snow, fictional character who cannot hear this shout out. I'm glad that you've had such a surge in popularity. Good for you. Okay, so when I was a kid, I would always get, like, you know, whatever comic books were available at the book fair. And I remember one time at the book fair, there was a little Guardians of the Galaxy comic book available. Now, looking back on it, I remember that, like, most of the comics in it were just episodes of cartoons that were out at the time, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes and Ultimate Spider-Man, that featured the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was just, like, stills from those episodes with word balloons put on them. But in the back of that booklet, after the little still cartoons, there was an actual comic book. It was The Incredible Hulk number 271, which was actually the second ever appearance of Rocket Raccoon. Now, the outfit he wears in this is not great. It's this weird silver body harness thing and this little blue cape and these little rocket slipper things that he wears. It's not a great look for him. So if it's not a great skin, why do I want it in the game? Well, because Marvel Rivals doesn't directly adapt these costumes. They adapt them, but they put it in their own style, and I think this costume could look interesting if changed up enough with the Marvel Rivals art style. Weird little silver body harness thing might become some interesting kind of armor. I think the blue cape would look interesting on Rocket, especially since his other skins lack any kind of a cape. He doesn't typically wear a cape, so that'll help this one stand out a little bit. I think the little slippers will be kind of funny. I don't know if it would be at all possible for them to, like, animate the slippers instead of the jetpack on his back for his rocketing, you know, ability. I don't know, but I feel like this would be a fun outfit. I feel like it would be interesting to see just what they could do with it, really, because it's really basic, and I feel like you could change it in all sorts of ways while still basically maintaining what it is. I don't know. I think that would be super neat. out of everyone here, Mantis actually gave me some of the most trouble. Her existing skins in the game cover basically her more popular outfits, leaving me with a few other things to pick from that I just wasn't sure about. There was her classic outfit, which is, alright, it might make for a kind of fun retro skin. There was her Avengers Crossed outfit, which is, it's different and it mixes things up. Unfortunately, it's from Avengers Crossed. So I wasn't quite sure about what to give her until I remembered that she was in the 2023 Guardians of the Galaxy comic books. Now, I didn't really read much of these, I just saw about them, but I remembered they had really cool designs for each of the Guardians. They looked really different and unique, and Mantis was no exception. That's why I'm picking out what I'm just calling the Mantis Really Big Fist outfit. At this time, Mantis was in a bit of a weird period, which if you know anything about Mantis as a character, that basically sums up most of her history, just being in various weird periods. But basically, Mantis's personality had been split into a bunch of different versions, and then they'd all come back together or whatever, so she was kind of cycling through different personalities that have been split on stuff. It's complicated, it's weird. The point is, this is the form that Mantis would take whenever it was kind of time to throw down, time to get into a fight, action scenes. And I think it's really cool. I think the kind of black color palette of it and stuff is interesting because it's so different from the traditionally more kind of natural colors that Mantis goes with. I like the big spiky shoulder pauldron and the big giant smacky hand. To say it's pretty dramatically different from Mantis's typically look, it's an understatement. It's a lot more aggressive, it's a lot darker. I would love to see it. I don't know how they would incorporate that kind of Hellboy-like hand into her character design, if they might need to tone that down a little bit. I don't know, but I think it's really badass, and I would love to see it in the game. Well, Susan has her Malice skin and her wedding outfit in Marvel Rivals already. Those are basically the two biggest alternate looks I could think of for her off the top of my head. Again, as I've said about other Fantastic Four members, their costumes don't have too much variety to them, not enough that would warrant making an entire skin that would actually be worth it and things like that, right? The only thing I can really think of to give her would maybe be her 90s costume. No, not that 90s costume, not that one. No, the other one, the other 90s costume. There we go, that's better. But yeah, I think this costume is pretty fun. I like the kind of sleeveless look with the then kind of opera gloves, which add this kind of white element on her arms and stuff. I think it does a good job at showing a bit more skin while not showing that much skin. But yeah, I just think this is a unique costume. Susan's the only one who ever got one like it. You don't see Reed running out here in the opera gloves or anything. Again, I think the redistribution of the colors is interesting, and I think it's the most we can really change it up without getting too drastic. But yeah, her second 90s costume. Well, there you have it. That's one skin for every strategist character currently in Marvel Rivals. I feel kind of bad. I feel like this is a much shorter video, but then again, there are just way less characters to draw from here. Hopefully as time goes on, though, they'll fix that and add a couple more strategist characters every here and there. Anyways, that just leaves me with the Vanguard characters, and I am really excited to cover those. There are some great characters in there, and I think I got some pretty good ideas for costumes for them. But if you want to check out that episode, make sure to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you get notified when that video comes out. And while you're at it, go ahead and leave a like on this video and comment down what you want to see in that Vanguard video. I'm Keenan Savage, and I'll see you guys next time.